Okay, it's time for Starfield Mods number 4. Today we're looking at an update to the StarUI family of mods to make our HUD look more interesting, along with a LUT change, or a LUT change, that makes the game feel like you're playing a movie, along with some texture mods to make everything look even better. Then we'll follow that up with a handful of mods that change posters, the Mantis suit, and of course, we'll pick up a mod or two that make those collectible magazines easier to look at as well. So strap in folks, things are getting even more interesting in the world of Starfield mods. First off is StarUI HUD. If you're a fan of StarUI Inventory, then you're going to enjoy this as well. This fun thing gives you a wider range of information as you look at items around the world, as well as give you the option to change the vanilla UI to your liking by adjusting the INI file that comes with the mod. It's actually really easy to do this since you can change some numbers and save the document, then quick save and quick reload to implement the changes without needing to shut the game down and launch it all over again. At its base, it changes how you look at items and gives you a value bar that tells you whether the item is worth taking or not. I'm not sure if I care enough about that to leave it enabled, but I guess we'll see in the future. The default version also makes some things more difficult for me to see, so I might change those also to be more visible when I have the time to play around with this thing. The most handy function though is the anti-theft system. In order to steal something, you have to actively hold E, which will prevent you from accidentally stealing a bowl and getting the 5-star criminal treatment. In order to do some of the more fancy stuff with the HUD, you may need quite a bit of trial and error and some kind of 3D engineering degree. But I imagine that someone will upload a custom INI file to make that look amazing in the near future, so be sure to keep an eye out on the Nexus for stuff like that. Next is Filmic Starfield Reshade. This is an adjustment of the natural or gravity LUTs you might be using already. What it does is actually pretty subtle, but can make for fantastic looking visuals. What I've noticed is that it makes the shadowy areas a bit darker while bringing up the vibrance of other lit areas. I'm willing to bet that when we do the spookier tasks in the game, this will make those areas much more creepy. Although I must admit that some dark areas are darker than they should be with this mod. It's a small change and easily removable, so give it a try and see if you like it. If you don't like it, you can just remove it and go to the original LUT that you had before. Now that we've made our game more cinematic, let's improve the photo mode with photo mode tweaks. What this simple mod does is it adjusts the various sliders to give you more freedom in your shots, as well as letting you get closer and further from your subjects by removing the boundaries and preventing models from disappearing when you get too close. That's really it for the mod. It's really simple, but it has the potential to help you take some pretty crazy shots. So now that we've made photography better, how about we take pictures of some really nice looking gear? Bane Spacesuit is a Mantis replacer that is unlike a lot of Mantis replacers we've seen so far. To my knowledge, the suit was handcrafted using magic I don't understand, unlike being a simple swap like many other mods we've seen so far. The Bane suit is bulky and intimidating, which is pretty in line with what the Mantis is supposed to be according to the lore. Basically a vigilante pirate spacer hunter. The author threw a lot of little flavor things into the suit as well, like the body count on the shoulder and a protective metal ring around the neck, which pairs really well with the overall theme of the suit. I personally like playing female characters, and there's practically no femininity in this suit, but it's fantastic work anyway, and as I keep saying, it's a sign of things to come once modders start to figure out the file system and find ways to make their creations work without the creation kit. And then the modding scene will explode once that creation kit is released. Now how about we brighten up our surroundings with some anime? The anime style poster mod replaces many of the posters around the game and does a wonderful job of recreating those vanilla posters with an anime style. In my opinion, they all look great and the author did a great job mimicking the originals, making them fit in perfectly in whatever location they were supposed to be in originally. They're not perfect, of course, but we're hardly going to notice as we're blasting enemies and digging around chests for loot. I do hope this author decides to do something similar for the collectible magazines in the future. But if you want some sexiness to replace those magazine covers now, we have a few new options. Collectible Magazines goes for a traditional pinup girl style of magazine, set in space with a few variations of spacesuits that don't seem to offer enough protection from the harshness of space. Many of the covers are reused for multiple magazines, making it difficult to visually tell what you're missing and what you're collecting, but I'm still a fan of the style, but its incompleteness really bums me out. But if that isn't your style, then there's also pinup Beauties of Sci Fi. These images lean away from the pinup style art and into the simple AI beauty category of art. Many categories of magazines have a unique cover for each issue, but for a few of the magazine series, the author again reuses covers for multiple different magazines. But still, both of these mods are fun includes if you like to spice up your magazine collections. And finally, let's talk about HD Textures. SavrenX has been churning out several texture mods that increase the visual fidelity of many parts of Starfield, from plants and rocks to NPC skin and hair. Each one looks amazing, and I've installed all of them to give the game a very crisp and clean look. There's only so much Bethesda you can take out of some of these animations, but it's a step forward. The hair mod in particular is very nice, and as a part of a suite of improvements to the game, it's easy to use your favorite HD mods and then add any of these to fill in the gaps that are missing. I won't go through all of them, but the links for them will be in the description. As of this recording, the mods that Savren has released so far are HD NPC Optimized, which are for your primary NPCs that you have as companions, the Crowd Optimized, which is every other NPC, then HD Stone, Flora, Cave, and in the Cave section you can also improve the water if you like that, and that just mixes with the cave. You just merge those together. All of those combined can make for a really pretty looking game, and so far I haven't seen any FPS drop from using these. Now, outside of those textures, we also have Effect Textures Enhanced. This mod improves the quality of effects like gunshots and bullet impacts on various surfaces. It's actually an older mod, but now that I'm looking at improving the visual fidelity of Starfield, it popped up on my radar and I'm sharing it with you just in case you didn't know about it either. However, these effects aren't upscaled using AI. They're handcrafted, so I think we can all appreciate the work that went into these to make them look so good. But those are the most exciting mods of the past week. Let me know which ones you liked most and which ones you're probably going to install in the comments below. The cockpit walkthrough video is still being worked on, so look forward to that. It's a pain in the butt. But in the meantime, like the video if you liked the video, dislike it if you disliked it, and until next time, I'm Space Coconut, and you're welcome.